Hello everyone. Welcome to my channel. My name is Monica Formosa and I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator here in the Wide Bay area of Queensland, Australia. Just mind me, my computer's just switching off. I'm here to do some stamping for the Colour Inspiration challenge number 150. We are doing just a little celebration because it is our 150th challenge, and the lovely Lou has picked out this fabulous photo that is our inspiration pick, and she's kindly given us 5 colors to work with. Some people don't like that, however I don't mind it. It just allows me to do some stamping, which I'm going to do today. If you're interested at all in joining us over at Colour Inspiration, we have a Facebook group. You will need to answer some questions to be able to be part of the group. And if you want to participate in the challenges, you do not need to have a blog, but if you do have a blog, or if you have other social media, you can, we do allow you to link to that when you upload your photo. So all you need to do to participate is to use all the colors for that particular challenge. We do allow metallics, we do allow neutrals, and we also allow you to use the neutral, or no, sorry, the natural tones in the blends. So if you'd like to join, you will be most welcome. We are quite a friendly bunch over there. We like to encourage participation. At the end of the challenge, we will pick our top 5 and a winner, depending on the numbers that we get joining us for that particular challenge. But that's Colour Inspiration in just a little blurb there. Okay, so these are the lovely colors. This is our inspiration photo. And if you want to join us, this is the link to the group, and I will link that. I will add that link to the description box underneath this video if anyone is interested. Okay, so because we have 5 colors, I thought I would do a little bit of stamping. I am a huge fan of Ruth Trice, and I follow her quite regularly. Like, she'll often put up a video every day through the week, and I will religiously follow her. Love her way of stamping. It's brought a new creative, it's given me a new way to use my stamps, and I just love the technique that she has shown. She also does classes. If you're interested, Zoom classes, you can email her, and she does Zoom classes where you can participate. I love her classes. I've done quite a few, and you know, often, like, the times don't often suit us here in the South Pacific, but she will sometimes add in a class just for us here in Australia and New Zealand. So if you're interested in doing that, it's a great way to learn this technique. The groups are only small. She'll cap them at maybe 6 or 8, and she will go through, she'll help you with your colors, she'll help you with your stamps, and just go through what you actually need and where to put them and stuff like that. So you also meet new people from all over the globe, which I enjoy too. Okay, so let's get stamping. Our colours, as you've seen from the photo, I've put mine in rainbow colour, in rainbow order rather. Sweet Sorbet, Calypso Coral, Pumpkin Pie, Old Olive and Pretty Peacock. Now, to help me out with a little bit of extra colour, because sometimes you do need more than 5, I will be doing some second and maybe third generation stamping. For that, I have got a piece of scratch paper, which is just an old piece of grid paper that I've got here to the side. I've got a heap of blocks here in front of me. Oops, sorry guys, stamp sets. I've picked out Sending Smiles, and I think for this, I kind of like this foliage image and these little cluster of flowers here. I hope you can see that. Gorgeously made. I thought this large image here for the background, I thought we would throw that into the background for a little bit of texture in the background. Textured floral. I'm not quite sure whether I'm going to use this or not, but it's here just in case. We might grab this one here. We'll just wait and see. Two-tone Flora. I want to use these two guys here, the detail and the kind of the fill-in image for my main floral images. Layering leaves, the dottage stamp. No stamping. No stamping, no one sheet wonder stamping is complete without your dottage stamp. Now that we don't have the Forever Fern stamp set in our collection, well, I still have it in my collection, but now that it's not current anymore, this guy is permanently on a block in my block container. So it's there, permanently attached, because I use it so much. Okay, so that's what I've pulled out for now. I have a sheet of A4 basic white cardstock, and I think what I might do is maybe 4 groups of not bouquets, but 4 groups of flowers, and see how we go. All right, so here's my piece of scratch paper, and to begin with, I think I might grab some Old Olive, and where's this one? This guy here. I'm kind of keen to put down a little bit of texture in my background, and I will use Old Olive, and I might go possibly even third or even 4th generation. All right, let's go 3, and just pressed a little bit too hard there, but that will end up being covered up. Let's go here. I might even do a few more out the side here. So what I'm doing, I'm kind of offsetting the center. And we'll go. It doesn't really matter that Actually, I might just wipe that off and just do a little bit. Okay, now because I don't really need all of that image, what I'm going to do is just not ink up that bottom section, and we'll remember you can do that with your stamping. It's all about creating or modifying your images to what you need. And if you've got something that you feel is too big for the space that you've got, only ink up a section of it. Alright, kinda, oh, I've got ink here everywhere. There we go. Alright, so there's our little bit of texture. It is just a little bit dark, I kind of feel, but hopefully that will lighten off as it dries a bit. Okay, so the next thing I want to do is to add in my florals, my largest florals. So I've got both of these stamps already mounted on my blocks. I want to do the detail in Sweet Sorbet, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to group these nice and close. Whoops, just got caught on my sleeve there. This is first generation. All right, so we're going to tuck that right in so it's nice and close. I like to change the position of the groupings. So that it's just a little bit different each time. And I'm kind of putting these over where those leaves are meeting. All right, nice and close. We're going to put that nice and close. Let's go. Oh, I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do here. Maybe here. All right, so that's our Sweet Sorbet. Just clean that off so hopefully it won't stain quite as much, because the red and the pinks will often stain our photopolymer stamps. All right, so now I'm going in with Calypso Coral and I'm going to stamp over the top. I find it easier to do the detailed stamps first, and I probably will grab my piercing nut because we are using photopolymer. All right, let's see how I go here. Now, I haven't used these very much, so I'm going to turn my page around because I've got a camera there at my forehead and it's just easier for me to line things up. And these are quite easy to line up. What I'm doing is this little open area here. I'm just lining those two up on the image underneath, and I've got just a little bit of, there's something there on my stamp. I'm not worried about going over the top with that green. It just also adds a little bit of texture to my petals, you know, in real life. That will happen. Oops. I'm not quite sure at this point in time how I'm going to cut these up. So this is like a good design. It's a good overall design. If you're not quite sure, I might do just 4 cards. I might go 6 cards. I could even go 8 cards. I will make that decision after I've finished. No, let's go this way, please. So you're a little bit closer. Thank you. That's easier. And lucky last. All right. Loving this. Loving these colors so far. All right. So there are our clusters of flowers, our largest flower. Nice and close. You want those images nice and close, tucked in together. Okay. So the next thing, I don't know whether I'm going to need them again, but we will just, yes, I might need the sorbet again, I think. Okay, the next thing I want to do is pumpkin pie. Now, let me get, what am I going to use? This one, two-tone Flora, and this little quartet here. I'm not going to do the detail. I'm just going to use these as they are, and I'm going to add these to the flowers around the outside of these. So I'm going to add these to the more to the white, the areas where it's white. And I love this little quartet because it's actually shaped, and you can kind of get them tucked in. Let me just make some room here. I'm not worried about going off my page because once it's cut up, that's going to happen anyway. Oops, I've just gone off there. Let's see if I can line that up again. And you can twist and turn this stamp so it tucks in so lovely to what you've already stamped, which is great. Just snuggles into everything else that's going on, which is great. Turn my page. And I really don't mind using photopolymer stamps because you can see as you're using them. I think that's enough there because I want to add more leaves. All right, so that's that done. What I'd like to do now is add some more foliage, leaves, and I think I might use two-tone Flora again. This is such a great stamp set for this kind of stamping, I have to say. So I've grabbed this guy out here, this one here. I love this one, and I think I'll go and get Peacock. What I like to do when I'm stamping this way is use one color for one particular image. And that way it's not confusing your mind. And I'm doing first and second generation stamping. I'm not worried about going over the, oh shoot, I've just put ink. Just let me wipe my hands. I've got ink everywhere and I've just smudged, okay, I've got a bit of a smudge mark there, but that's all right. And by adding these leaves in nice and close, you're actually highlighting those gorgeous flowers. Come on, I want to maybe turn you around or organize something here. And what I'm doing, when I do my second generation, I'm stamping and then I'm swiveling at that same point and stamping again. So stamp, swivel, so it's stamping in that same spot. Okay. I love this stamp too because it can really get in there and be tucked in. Oops, Oops, sorry. Just hit my camera. Oops. So for my first generation stamping, what I like to do is stamp it over the darkest areas initially. There we go. Kind of want to put one in here too. Yeah. All right. Not quite sure what this, oh, I might just put one up here. Not quite sure what this looks like on screen, but I'm liking it. I'm liking it a lot. Okay, so there's our pretty peacock. What I'd like to do now is go back in with our sweet sorbet. And I need, ideally when you're doing this, you need at least three different sized floral images. You need a couple of different styles of foliage. Okay, sorry guys, this little group of flowers here, I'm going to put him onto an A block, and I'm going to now add these to the outer areas, kind of here on the outsides of these. And that's because I want to pull that red away from the center of the images there that's happening. It's almost like dottage. Mix it in with the green where it's a nice contrast. And again, don't be afraid of going over what you've already stamped, because at the end of the day, that adds just a tad of dimension, creates lovely texture. I'm even going to sneak one in there. There's a bit of a gap happening that I'm not happy with. Oops. I'm not stamping too well for this afternoon. All right. So we're just pulling that red through the rest of our stamping, so our eyes aren't drawn to those big floral images in the middle there. All right, so kind of like that. I would like to add a little bit more Old Olive using this gorgeous stamp. I love this one. All right. And when you're pulling off your photopolymer stamps out of the cases, just be very gentle. I've actually torn a couple of mine recently. Does that fit on there? That will fit on there. No, I might just go a bit bigger, I think. All right, let me... They still work, but you just need to be gentle and not in a hurry. So what am I looking for? Olive. And I think I'm going to go full strength here, and I might just get a second piercing mat. So I've got all of this happening here. All right, so full strength now. And again, if I don't want all my image, I should probably, if I want to, oh, just drop that. And like the piece of toast, it landed butter side down, didn't it? So now I've got a dirty ink pad. Let me just get a paper towel. All right, I'm just going to wipe some of that dirt. Floors are a little bit dusty. All right, sorry. To get that tucked in where I need it to go, I'm only inking up this little bit here, and we're going to go in here like so. I do kind of want a little bit more greenness in there, if I can make it happen. And if I do it in second generation, like oh, I'm not inking up my stamp very well. Let me take that off and start again. Thank you. think we need just a little one down here in second generation. There's a bit of a white gap happening here that I'd like to fill in. Right, I think that's it. What I need to do now is some dottage. And I think what I might do is I might look at using, not the red, but the Pretty Peacock. And I might even do a little bit of the coral, maybe spread that color around. All right, so the job of dottage is to fill in the gaps, break up the lines, cover any boo-boos. Now I've got this line here that is that I'm not happy about. Any smudges. And we're also using this to pull the color around your stamping. So add it in. Twisting your stamp as you go, because we don't want repetitive patterning. There's another smudge there that we have been able to cover. All right, all right, there's that one. And I think I might just go in and do a little bit of coral as well, Calypso coral. Let's go back to make sure my stamp is totally clean. And again, we're just using this to bring that color out. Not a great idea to use anything darker than an orange or a yellow. You know, going into your reds can be a little bit yeah, it can be. If you once you stamp it, you'll realize the error of your ways. It can. All right, and what I'm doing here is the areas of green. I like to add the Calypso coral to that, because A, it's a contrast, and B, it's adding orange where there's no orange. Okay, and the other thing I'd like to do is, I'm not happy about those white centers, so I think what I might do is find my blending brush and maybe add just a little bit of pumpkin pie to the center, so it's just toning it down so it's not so strong. Yeah. Okay. So there's our sheet stamped. I'll just clear a spot here. And I will go through everything, all the stamps that I used. I didn't use textured floral, so only 4 sets, which is a pretty good achievement, because sometimes you can use way more. Okay, so to start with, what did I use? Oh, Gorgeously Made. This guy here for the background, just to add a little bit of texture to my background, and I've got red ink everywhere. And that's why you don't use red for your dottage, because it looks traumatic, to say the least. Okay, flowers, two-tone Flora, these two here, and then the quartet here. What else did I use? Oh, and for the peacock, pretty peacock for these leaves. Yep, Sending Smiles, I used this leaf, this foliage, and then this little group of flowers here. And then Layering Leaves, I used the dottage. And then stamps. In rainbow order. Sweet Sorbet, Calypso Coral, Pumpkin Pie, Old Olive, and Pretty Peacock, which are the colours for Colour Inspiration Challenge 150. Okay, how would I cut this up? That is a good question. I have made vellum templates, and I've just drawn with Sharpie pens on vellum. Okay, so there's you can cut that up into 6 possibly. You're not going to have a lot in this one, but it might be enough. You could add a sentiment in that section here. And I wouldn't add, I would just stamp something on a piece of white and punch it out, or just a label. You don't need much. If you wanted to go more, this doesn't quite work. If you move that along, you could probably get that to work a little bit. You don't have a lot again in this middle section, but you can, that's 6, there's 10 there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Or you could go long, slim line if you wanted to. What have I got here? 12. You could do 12. That would be awesome. You've got a bit of floral imagery in all of those squares. So, you know, like I stamped for, well, I've been here for nearly an hour, but I did a lot of talking at the beginning, so you know, so nearly an hour, and you can make up that many cards. I think is great. So this is 8 cards, and that would work. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You've got, you know, your red, your coral flowers in through here. Now this one's a little bit different. This is not quite sure I like that. There's not a lot happening in that middle one. Let me spin it around and see what happens this way. Well, there you go. That would work. That's amazing. That would be a nice cut. So you've got two kind of smaller sections, and then these are 3 regular card front sizes. So that would work. That looks great. Don't mind that one. This is similar, but a little bit wider. So 2 card fronts and then 3 squarer card fronts. That's that way. What about this way? Not a lot happening in this section here, but with a sentiment in the center, you could easily make that into a lovely card. And then this guy, this is 4 larger ones and then 4 squares, and that would work. Either or, maybe, yeah, maybe this way more. So that would be a nice option, and that works. So there's lots of different ways of cutting down your stamping once you've finished. All right, so that's it. Love the colors. They're bright, they're cheerful, they are amazing. They work so well together. And yeah, I had fun. I hope you enjoyed watching. Okay, bye for now, and see you again soon. Bye.